What does it take to make it? In this video, I want to present the two stories that you've been told about how to succeed. I want to show you why both of them are wrong, and I want to propose a third story, let's call it the Ikario way, and consider that maybe that is the solution to all the frustrations that people have following story 1 and story 2 and never succeeding. So, what does it take to succeed, to live a successful life, to crush it in life, however you want to call it? What is the story that culturally we tell ourselves about this? To make this clear, let's paint a bit of a caricature, a bit of an exaggerated picture of what I'm talking about here, right? Imagine a stereotypical kind of over-the-top successful person. And let's focus on three aspects of life. The first, obviously, money. This person is rich. They have a great career, maybe they're a successful entrepreneur, they've got loads and loads of money. The second is physical health and appearance. So this person is extremely fit, right? They've got a beautiful body, they are healthy and strong looking, they look the way all of us want to look. And the third aspect is relationships, love life. So this person is amazingly successful in this category as well. Okay, so that paints the picture of our super successful person. And this is what we want, right? We would all like to be rich and successful and beautiful and have great relationships and be in fantastic shape and all that. What does it take to get there? The first story that we're told about this is that it's all about sacrifice. Is that yes, you can have this, you too can achieve this, but it comes at a high cost. You have to be willing to pay the price. So you want to be rich, you want to make loads of money, you want to have a great career. Well, you have to sacrifice everything to achieve this. If you want to have this stellar career and this amazing salary, you have to be the first to show up to the office, the last to leave every single day. So you have to outwork everyone. Don't take breaks. If other people are working 12-hour days, you work 14-hour days. You're on the grind. You don't let anyone outperform you. Or to be a successful entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs love to tell stories about their heroics, right? About I don't even sleep, or I sleep under the desk for like 2 hours at a time, and then I go back to the grind and I work so hard and I work way harder than anyone else, and years of sacrifice and so on, and that's why I have all this money. And this same story applies to other categories of life as well. Oh, you want to have a great physique, you want to be fit and healthy and strong. Well, you have to get up even earlier and go to the gym and work out super hard, and you can never eat foods that you like, while other people are eating cakes and tasty foods, you're like nibbling on a lettuce feeling all sad, but that's the sacrifice you make. You have to sweat and feel the pain and the burn, and when other people are having fun and taking a break, you, after your 16-hour workday, are going to the gym a second time for even more suffering, and that is how you get this kind of physique. And even with relationships, people love to talk about how hard work is the only way to have a great relationship, right? It takes so much work and so much sacrifice, and you have to work on your relationship, you have to make compromises and so on and so forth. You get the idea, right? We like to tell this story of, yes, you can have the thing that you want, but it comes at this enormous price. And we're almost supposed to feel sorry for people who are successful, or for people who seem to have made it, right? Because, oh my God, look at the sacrifice this person made. And one of the reasons we like to tell this story in our culture is because it paints a meritocratic picture. It basically says everyone who has good things in life has deserved it. Everyone has paid the price. And it's then also easy to say, well, if you don't have these things, you just haven't done enough work. You haven't been willing to make the sacrifice, or maybe you've just been lazy. And so I deserve the good things I have, and it's not my problem that you don't have maybe the same level of wealth or health or whatever that I have. In stark contrast to this is story number 2. This is a story that we see everywhere in marketing. What is the most basic marketing message that you see in a million variations over and over again? You can have the thing that you want. You can have the thing that you dream of without any of the pain. Think about it. You've seen this message over and over again. Oh, you want to have, a great body. You want to look great. Don't worry about it. There's this secret special 5 minutes a day workout is all you need. Maybe buy this one workout device, the shake weight or whatever, right? And use it 5 minutes a day, and you'll look like a fitness model. You want to lose weight and slim down, get ready for bikini season and whatnot, just take this pill, right? This magic new supplement, whatever. That's the trick. That's going to take care of everything. What is that? It's the outcome you want minus all the sacrifice, minus having to do anything hard. And of course, it's the same with money. Everywhere you look, you can find people trying to tell you some pain-free way to riches, right? All you have to do is follow these simple steps in my secret formula and make your fully automated drop shipping Shopify store and you'll be rich. And when it comes to dating, your love life, it's the same thing. There's all kinds of solutions, secrets that promise, the easy way to find your dream partner, to attract whoever you want to attract, the easy way to have a great relationship, the shortcut to getting what you want without having to put in any work. That is story number 2. Now, it's easy to look at these two stories and figure, I see what's going on here, right? Story number 1 is the truth. You can have great things in life, you can get extraordinary results in life, but it comes at a great cost. Most people are unwilling to do that. And so story number 2 is simply a lie that is being told and being sold by marketers trying to get your money, and that's it. That's all there is to it, right? It's simply a lie told for money. But while I agree that story number 2 is basically too good to be true and there's not much value in it, I think both stories are not very helpful. And so here comes what I want to propose, what I recommend you consider as a better approach for how to make it. This is story number 3, the ikario way to making it in life. And to think about this, to set this up, consider the following. What usually happens when people follow story number 1, what usually happens when someone says, okay, I'm going to sacrifice everything for my career, and then once I have lots of money, then I'll be happy and I can start living my life. Where does that lead? What happens to people who actually do that? Basically, midlife crisis, right? People get to a point where it's like, oh, I've actually achieved the things that I thought would make me happy. I have the career, I have the salary, I have the house, the car, whatever, and I'm still not happy. And it leads to this kind of midlife crisis regret where you look back at what you've done and you go, oh, I wish I had lived my life differently. This thing is actually not fulfilling. The thing that I thought would be the solution is not actually a solution. And I wish I had spent my time doing something that's more in line with my values and more in line with how I want to live my life and how I want to spend my time. So what's the alternative? If we can't reach happiness and fulfillment by constantly chasing finish lines, then what to do instead? And the alternative is to become more process-oriented, to basically spend your time doing things that you want to be doing. If you can be process-oriented and you do things that you want to be doing, then you don't have this effect of looking back with regret and thinking, oh my God, look at all the time I've wasted. I wish I had done things differently. But that almost sounds like story number 2, like saying, well, you can do whatever you want, just do things you enjoy and it'll be fine. And that is not what I'm suggesting. Instead, what I'm suggesting is that you can find an overlap between doing things that you want to be doing and things that get you to the results that you want. Because of course, if we go through the examples I talked about, right? If you simply spend your time doing whatever is most pleasurable to you, it's very unlikely that you can turn that into a successful career and gain financial freedom from doing that. And the same is true for food, right? If you simply eat whatever seems most stimulating and most delicious to you in any given moment, you will probably not have a very good physique and you'll probably not be very healthy. And the same with relationships. If you have just zero effort and you just kind of wait for the best relationship possible to just fall into your lap, it's probably not going to happen. So here's the key idea. There is an overlap between things that you want to be spending your time doing and things that get you the results that you want to get. And if you can operate in that overlap, that is the ikario way. And that gives you a better alternative to story 1 and to story 2. If you could do this perfectly, it would basically mean that you are spending your days doing things that are meaningful to you, doing things that you want to be doing, and monetary success, great health and fitness, great relationships, and so on would be a side effect of that. It would be a side effect of doing the things you want to be doing anyway. But we're not quite done yet, because there's a huge mistake that I see people make here, especially in the spiritual community, where what I'm talking about now might remind you of another kind of story you've been told that's really a variation of story number 2, which is to say that once everything is aligned, right? Once you've got your chakras aligned and you're spiritually aligned and you're doing the thing that you were put on earth to do or something, then everything will fall into place and everything will be effortless and it'll be great. And that is not what I'm talking about, because that is just another finish line. That is just another thing that people chase after and grasp for and think that, oh, as long as things aren't effortlessly falling into place, and there's something inside me that I still haven't fixed, I'm still not fully aligned, I'm still not fully spiritually awakened or whatever it is, right? And you chase after that thing thinking once I have that, it solves all my problems. And that is, like I said, that's just story number 2 dressed up in a different way. That's not what I'm proposing. I am not saying that if you do this and if you find this overlap I talked about, that everything will be easy and effortless. So once again, let's go through the 3 examples. You can do work that is aligned with your values, that is the kind of work that you want to do. That doesn't mean you're not going to be working hard. Most of my life I have been an entrepreneur, and I can tell you that I have had many periods where I've worked incredibly hard. Like I have done some of the suffering, the kind of story number 1, suffering and sacrifice kind of thing. But there's a huge difference between solving problems and challenges that are related to something you care about and that is meaningful to you versus doing it for something you don't care about. Luckily, my parents never pressured me into any career or something, but if I imagine if my parents had pressured me into, oh, you have to become a lawyer or something like that, I could have probably done an equal amount of suffering and sacrifice and long hours spent trying to become a lawyer and have a career as a lawyer. But there's a huge difference there, because I would have spent my time solving problems I'm not that interested in. I would have spent my time in pursuit of a goal that I don't actually want to reach myself. And that's the key difference. So I'm still working hard, I'm still solving problems, I'm still overcoming challenges, but it's all doing things that I want to be doing. So I don't look back with regret. And I have had many times where, I've put a lot of work into a business and it didn't work out. But I don't regret that, because I was doing something that I cared about, and I was doing something that was increasing my skills in areas that I found valuable. And maybe fitness and health is an even better example, because listen, you're not going to have a great physique without doing some hard exercise or another. But you can design an exercise program in such a way that you basically hate it, right? And you're just there sweating and suffering. Or you can do something that you actually enjoy doing. You can get in great shape going to the gym, of course, and even in the gym, there's thousands of different exercises you can do. And you can get in great shape doing exercises you enjoy doing, or you can get in great shape doing exercises that you hate. But equally, you can get in great shape doing things like running or climbing or swimming or anything else that you enjoy that is exercise and physical activity. Either way, it's not like you're not going to sweat. It's not like you're not going to push hard and somehow end up in fantastic shape and super healthy. There's a big difference between pushing hard in an exercise you enjoy and doing something that you want to be doing versus pushing hard in an exercise that you just hate. And the same is true for your love life, for dating, for relationships. I think the solution is neither some kind of a grim pursuit of I have to make every possible sacrifice for this relationship, even though it's clearly not working, nor is it just waiting around hoping that the perfect partner will somehow materialize in your life. But you can design your social life in such a way that you're having a good time and you're getting exposed to potential partners, and you can find a partner with whom you have a decent compromise between most things just work well and the other things we work on. So this is something I invite you to consider. Because the tricky thing about this is that from the outside, the difference between story 1 and story 3 is not necessarily apparent. You can look at someone who is successful, who has the things that you want, and what you see them do is you see them get up early in the morning and work hard and so on and so forth. And maybe internally they're suffering and they actually hate it and they're grasping for some finish line, never finding relief. You can look at another person who seemingly is doing the same things. They're also working hard on things. They're also exercising hard and so on. But their internal experience is, this is great because I'm spending my life the way I want to spend it and I'm living aligned with my values. And as a note here, when people talk about story 1, and talk about all the sacrifices they make and so on, also realize that this is something that people want to believe about themselves. But sometimes people want to have that experience and they want to get validation, and maybe also almost some kind of a mix between admiration and pity or something like that from people, right? To say, yes, I've achieved all these things, but look at the incredible sacrifice I'm making. Some people want to play the role of like heroic martyr, and so that's what they will project, and that's also what they'll seek out in their lives. But I think it doesn't make for a particularly high life quality, and certainly not a recipe for happiness. And that's one of the reasons I'm making this video. I want to encourage you to look at these different stories that you're being presented and find that superior way. I think that for most of us, there is a better way to design our life than the typical ways that we are usually presented. So there's kind of this off the beaten path approach, which is the approach that I have taken and I continue to seek out in my own life. And it has worked extremely well for me. So I hope that this comparison between these stories has opened your eyes to how different narratives play out. And I hope this encourages you to seek that ikario way, to seek that story number 3 kind of path in your own pursuits.